ready? It's the Roundtable with me, Robert Bannon. Welcome to the Roundtable, everybody. Well, I was scrolling through the Instagram and I saw Daniel Ryan Spaulding waxing poetic about something. You know, he is on the Instagram and this TikTok and the Snapchat and the Facebook. I don't know. I'm getting old. And I loved it. And people were sending it to me because he was talking about woke culture and the world and how we have selective outrage about things, etc. And I researched him some more. And not only did he honestly write jokes and information about bariatric surgery and the work that he did to get himself better and how he left Canada to work in the United States to then go to Europe. He broke in Europe, and during the pandemic, he was putting out content and video, all this fun stuff. But he's got a brand new show called Power Gaze. And I was intrigued. Are you not intrigued? What is a power gay? Am I a power gay? Is Elton John a power gay? He's definitely a power gay. He's a different level of power gay. He's like knighted, legendary, iconic gay. I'm just like Knights of Columbus, New Jersey power gay. But doesn't matter. Wherever you are, however your freak flag flies, is all that matters. It's all that matters. Daniel Ryan Spaulding stopped here. He was in Boston, chit-chatting away. Take a peek. All right, so we're going to get the real story. We're going to find out the real story. But from what I understand, you're in Canada, plucked from Canadian borders, brought out to be an international, global, queer superstar comedian now from Europe. You know when people say they're big in Europe? Daniel really is big in Europe. He's big here, and he's coming to New York City. And I needed to have him on the show. Daniel, welcome to the show.
Hi. Thanks for having me, Robert.
My goodness, we grab you as you travel literally all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Do you have one particular airline? Do you get to go into like the fancy lounge because you travel from Europe to the States back and forth?
No, I try to do budget. I fly budget. Like a lot of the European airlines are like, it's like a bus in the sky, like EasyJet and Ryanair. But I always try to like get the speedy boarding. So it's like, it's low budget, but classy. You're classy, trashy.
That's literally, I'm from New Jersey, so that's literally our state motto. So tell us, during the pandemic, you started making videos, you started to create content, and what happened?
Well, I had previously, I had already been doing comedy. I've been doing stand-up comedy for 15 years. I have done like some content like before the pandemic. But because I wasn't able to do my stand-up show during the pandemic, obviously because everyone couldn't, meet up, I would do a video every day, and fans would donate, and so that kind of kept me going. So a lot of my stand-up routines I would put into videos as monologues. I also had a web series at that time called So Berlin, where I played like a Berlin hipster kind of character. And so I would try to do a video every day, and that really helped people, gave something for them to look forward to. And that was sort of one of my first booms in my my career, helping me become more known throughout the world. And then there have been some others since. And now I'm really excited for this next chapter.
Absolutely. Well, Power Gay, before we get ahead of ourselves, Power Gay is the new show. And if you are interested in living in this area, firstly, you need to get on top of it. Daniel Ryan Spaulding, Power Gay, is coming to New York again after packing them in November 3rd to the 5th. You can go to redeyetickets.com and grab your tickets before they're all gone and they're sold out. And you can always go to www.danielryanspaulding.com for more information about you. See the videos, see the YouTube verse special comment, the whole experience.
Yeah.
What is an evening like? What is a power gay?
Well, I think a power gay is a gay man who's, living in his truth and living in his power. I think that as gay men, we have a unique experience in life. We have a lot of the privileges of being a man, but then also we face a lot of challenges in terms of being raised in a society where we're sort of taught to hate ourselves, and we have to reconcile a lot of issues around, how to be proud of ourselves, how to embrace our masculinity, what sort of an identity we like, how to fit into the gay world, how to find people that love you and connect with you. And so on a larger level, the idea of being a power gay is, finding that space in your life where you're happy and confident with yourself. Also, I've been through a lot the past year and a half, and that's sort of what I've had to discover for myself, and that's what the show's about.
Well, I was going to ask you, you don't shy away from politics. You don't shy away from world issues on social media and in your content. And you don't shy away about being very personal. You've talked about your own journey, your own personal journey via health, via cosmetics, via surgery, via what you just put it all out there.
Yeah, I've lost 230 pounds over the last year and a half. And the catalyst for that was me not drinking. I had a drinking problem. So I had to sort of get sober and figure out exactly how I needed to change my life to get to the place where I could be happy with myself. And so it's been a really great transformative time. I'm really proud of this show. The special that I shot, which is on YouTube, my special So Berlin, that I shot just a month after getting sober. So it's really like if you watch that and then see the show now, it's really fun to see the journey that I've taken. But I think that when you're honest and when you're truthful, it helps both you and it helps others, because it frees you from the shame that you might have about difficult experiences that you've been through, and it gives other people permission to know that they're not alone going through the things that they might be going through, and it helps people. And so being able to help someone is really one of the best ways of healing yourself as well.
Absolutely. And to continue on this journey, you can go follow Daniel on Instagram and all of the social medias, because your content and your videos are everywhere. And Daniel Ryan Spaulding, when you are making content and you're putting stuff out there, some of it is really funny, some of it is really deep and very serious, some of it's a combination of both. For the people out here who are trying to make it in comedy or trying to be creative, or the world of social media influencers and personalities, etc., do you follow a strict timeline? Do you have a calendar? Does it just come to you? Like, how do you plan what you're going to say and when you're going to put it out in the world?
I try to be reflective, and I try to give myself a little bit of time, but usually I am, I think of an idea, I write it, I shoot it, and it can be done in half an hour or an hour. So with issues that are very hot button and very sensitive, I try to give myself a day to really make sure that it's something that I want to say. But if you have good intentions and you can think of a situation and just make a really specific point that is really inarguable and really puts an idea forward that is clear and concise, people can read into that and make implications. But as long as what you're saying is truthful and real, and that is all that matters. In terms of being subversive and ironic in my work, that's just my style. And if people like me, they like me. If they don't like me, that's fine too. I can't go through my life worried about what everyone thinks about me, but I am a authentic person and an honest person. So at least you know what you're getting with me.
Absolutely. That's the truth.
Yeah.
And that's what comes across, and that's what people will love about it. And
Yeah.
all of the people who listen and you've made smile, laugh, especially through the pandemic, and then through their journey, through their sexuality and through their own finding themselves. It's a huge gift you give to so many people.
Thank you, Robert.
For real, for sure. So can you just tell, I know that gay people saying that whole thing that you started, maybe you could tell people, how did the idea come about and what was it like when it took off like a rocket ship?
Are you talking about if gay guys said the shit straight people say?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did that video in 2014. So this was really like, I think Instagram had just started, but this was really, people were mainly just watching videos on YouTube. And it got, I think, over like almost 1 million hits just in like 5 days, which was back then, like now that's nothing. But back then that was very viral. And so the idea was, if gay guys said the shit straight people say, so all the annoying questions or comments that a straight person would make done in reverse. So how did you know you were straight? Or I can't remember the exact script of it, but I also shot that in Amsterdam too, and like at all the different gay bars. So there were always rainbow flags around me, so it looked like it was like an alternate universe where everyone was gay, which was kind of fun. But yeah, interestingly enough, that was really the first video like that. And then BuzzFeed took the concept several weeks later and then did every other version of it. Like if Asian people said this stuff, white people say. If Black people said this stuff, white people say. And I think it was a great way to shine a light on privilege. And to make people just think a little more conscientiously about the things that they ask, and if it's appropriate in small talk to, ask people, so when did you come out, or when was the first time you had sex? These are not polite chit chat conversations that you have with someone. And so I think that it was a video that had a nice impact on setting boundaries with people. And I think it was nice for the gay community.
Yes, because even in 2023, the trans community, the queer community, we still get questions that you would never ask, and that's the whole point. Like, what position are you, and what have you ever been with a woman, and what was like? You don't ask those questions to other people, and that was the brilliance behind it. So, when you lost the weight, and when you had the surgery, what made you decide to talk about it, and what made it be a part of your public persona? What about it was
right? Well, how could it not, right? Like I was 420 pounds and now I'm under 200 pounds. Like I was gonna, at some point I'd have to explain what happened. But I didn't, I waited until after the surgery had already happened several months before I talked about it publicly. And then even then I waited quite a while before I started talking about it in my show or did any sort of videos about it. And honestly, because people just, for most of my videos, just saw my face. So they didn't really necessarily realize how much weight I had lost until it was very obvious. But I think there's a lot of shame around about that people have about obesity. And I don't really like that word, but it is what it is. It's a very taboo topic, and it's talked about in society with very little compassion. And even if you don't have a problem with your weight, you might have a family member who does or a friend who does. And I think by opening up the conversation and destigmatizing the surgery, talking about how much joy it brought me, how really it's like a second chance at life, how I can do things I was never able to do before. I can really live like my life the way I've always wanted to. I think it can help people look into, maybe that's an option for them. For me, it was 100%. I needed it. I couldn't have lost that weight in any other way. And I think that there's this sort of, especially in America, there's this sort of, pick yourself up by your bootstraps. Right. It's your responsibility. You did this to yourself. Get yourself out of this situation. But it's actually a lot more complicated than that. And sometimes you need medical intervention to get yourself out of that situation. But people have very little compassion for people that have obesity. They think it's a moral failure, or that they're just lazy, or that they're stupid. And it's absolutely not the case. It's a medical condition. And it's also a result of most likely horrible trauma that people have been through in some way. I didn't realize how difficult my life was because I was living in it. I didn't know. Now I see how different the world is and how differently I'm treated by people and how much nicer people are to me. The interactions I have in society with waiters or bouncers or customer service people, the way you're treated when you're very heavy versus, when you're thin, it's completely different. So it's something to think about, and it's something to that I've had happen and that I've gone through. So again, like I said, share it, and maybe it'll help some people.
I think that's so. My cousin had the surgery, and she got a lot of flack from family members. She got flack from some friends. All this nonsense about taking the easy road and all this BS. And she said, "Should I tell people?" And I said, "You're going to tell people, and there's people out there that are looking for
Yeah.
someone." And she got so many responses from people who then ended up getting it or were afraid to talk about it. And in your platform and your following, you're saving lives and giving people,
Yeah.
the strength. So powerful. So
Yeah.
well, you're so deep. You're
Oh,
so deep. You're deep. You are smart and you are funny and your delivery.
Robert, am I paying you for this? You're
I,
so sweet.
I'm gonna send you my PO box. No, what I'm saying though is your delivery is so great and it's such a signature style. You're so dry in your delivery that when I first saw your videos, I didn't know if this was a joke, if this is serious,
Oh.
if this is where did you is this always the way you've been? Do you play a character on stage or is this just an example of Daniel just up there with lights and a microphone?
Well, right now I'm just speaking as myself. In some of my videos, I am playing a character, obviously, but with my stand-up, I think most stand-up comedians have that where you are being authentically yourself. It's just you're being extra. So in polite conversation, I wouldn't necessarily go into an anecdote talking about, I don't know, banging some guy in a bathroom stall in Amsterdam or whatever crazy story might be in my show, or giving a really, ventilating, angry speech about something that's bothering me. But that's what stand-up comedy is there for. We're there to cut ourselves off from society for an hour or an hour and a half. And we've decided the rules of polite society are not applying right now. We're going to be a little nasty. We're going to be a little bitchy. We're going to get down and dirty, and we're going to be real. And people need that.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, we're just, you know, living in this constant, nicety. Hi, how are you? Oh my, nice to meet you. I'm from Canada. Oh, good to meet you. It's boring. It's boring. You
No,
know,
you know the
you need
truth.
some kitchen table talk.
Yes, and that's why we have you, and that's why we're gonna go. Look, right after Halloween, right after you're done with your nonsense, you just need a weekend. You need something fun to do, and you're in New York City, you're in Jersey, you're in Connecticut, wherever you are. You need to just run on down. Go to redeyetickets.com. It's from the 3rd to the 5th. There's a couple of shows. You can get your tickets. You're not trying to knock people over the head here, Daniel. They're a good price. They're a fun spot, and you
Yeah.
get to see this all live and in person. So
Hopefully, it's gonna keep running throughout the autumn too. So just if you see this later in November, it's probably still running.
So just go to the
Got
website.
Spaulding.com. Yeah.
Go to the website to keep up to date. And we're looking forward to you. Is there any chance that America's going to steal you back, or you're European now?
Well, I'm not American. I'm Canadian.
Right. True.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
talk about privilege. These snooty Americans. That's how we all are. You know.
yeah. I had to get a visa to work here. I'm an artist, an alien of extraordinary abilities.
That is
So I can work in the United States for the next 3 years. So I'm going to be mainly based in New York, but I will still be doing work in Europe. But I want to. I never. All my career has been in Europe, so I'm really excited to see the United States. I want to go to Chicago and Austin and New England, all throughout New England. I'm in Boston right now, actually.
so
So yeah, it's a new chapter.
It is a new it looks like
Yeah.
Boston. It looks like the Boston Tea Party was right in this
Yeah. It's
stately
very
room.
regal. It's very
Very,
regal, this hotel room. Look at that.
very come
Yeah.
on.
It's a
Um,
beautiful inn.
I love it. It's beautiful. And America welcomes you. We're excited to see you tear
Thank
up
you.
the streets and stages all across. We'll be following them. We'll be watching. And congratulations on everything.
Thank you, Robert. You're so sweet.
How sweet is he? So different than on the Instagram. You know, people are very different on the Instagram and the social media and in the real world. So we got to keep that in mind because we get so used to things being, you know, how people appear. You know, his stand-up is so smart and he's so honest and truthful in what his delivery is. So he's a breath of fresh air for sure in the culture. I hope you can get your tickets. Check him out. I'm going to check out his show for sure. And I love you for being here. You are wonderful. And I appreciate you. My music is out now. You can go to Spotify and listen to my new album called Rewind. Talk about a power gay as a little one. It's got Liza, it's got Dolly, it's got Whitney, it's got Elton, it's got a whole bunch of music and the stories that shaped my life growing up here in New Jersey. I hope you can take a listen to it. Follow me at robertbannon.com for more information about me. Come join us every day at the Broadway Podcast Network. You can go to broadwaypodcastnetwork.com and find my friends who also have shows and follow me at Robert M. Bannon. Robert M. Bannon on Instagram. I hope to see you again real soon. See you out on the road. See you in a show. There's always stuff going on here at the Roundtable. I look forward to it. If you see me out and about, say hi. As always, the best is yet to come. I'll see you all again next time here at the Roundtable with me. Bye, everybody.